What's going on, people? It's Louis TC, Louis Source at the Fitnesspog, however you know me, coming at you today. And on today's episode of POG Vlogs, we're going to do some NFL football predictions. Alright, so as you guys can see, I'm wearing a baseball jersey, but we're talking about football, guys. So there we go. Much better. I got the Patriots jersey on. Yes, it's the one from the Super Bowl of last year, so this is the jersey that they wore when they lost. My cousin, who's a really big Eagles fan, bought me this jersey in advance, and he said, I bought you this jersey so you will always remember the time that the Eagles beat the Patriots. So a lot of things have changed this year. I mean, some things are the same. They're still talking about Colin Kaepernick and the knee and this and that. Who cares about that, though? We're talking about football now. So, tonight, Thursday night, the NFL season starts. And there's a lot of stuff that happened during the offseason. I mean, we have 7 new head coaches this year. So you know there's going to be a lot of different turmoil, a lot of different changes going on with the teams, the way they're ran and stuff like that. You got players that are holding out because they want restructured contracts. They want new money. They want to get paid. Some of them are getting paid. Some of them are getting traded. And some of them are at a stalemate, so they're just sitting out. And they're screwing all of our fantasy football teams! And honestly though, I really don't care because I'm in 2 leagues and my respective first picks were Antonio Brown and David Johnson. So, and I screwing my team, at least. Well, are they screwing my team? Nah, they ain't screwing my team. So let's kick this off. Thursday Night Football, to start off the season, we have the Atlanta Falcons visiting our Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now this is a rematch from the playoffs last year, and the Eagles got away with the pass interference that could have been called, but it was a good no call with the Julio Jones jumping up and the ball going through his fingers. He was mad because he got pushed down by the Eagles player, but whatever. They're playing tonight to start off our year. Now, the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. The Eagles are at home. But another thing about the Eagles is they're not 100% fully healthy. They're hurting a little bit. So that's making me lean towards the Falcons. So I'm going to pick the Falcons for this one. Then the next game that we got is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. So what that tells me is we finally have Andrew Luck back. At least that's what I think. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I really haven't been following football too much this year. But Andrew Luck should be back. Colts are at home. Colts usually do really well when they have their quarterback and they're at home. So I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. We also have the Buffalo Bills visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Buffalo Bills visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Now, everything in me wants me to pick the Baltimore Ravens because it's always been that Baltimore Ravens. D. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, all them guys. But they ain't that defense no more. They haven't been that defense for about 3 or 4 years now. And the Bills, honestly, have been quietly putting together a squad the past couple of years. They've been getting better and better and better. They've been making the AFC East a little tighter. They've actually beaten the Patriots a few times these past couple of years. So it's not just such of a runaway for the Patriots as it used to be in that AFC East. The Bills have really been putting a team together, and I got to pick the Bills for this one. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, see, felt bad having yeah, Bills. Then the next game that we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the New Orleans Saints. Now, I don't know too much about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All I know is that they got Mike Evans, and I have him for one of my fantasy football teams, and he's my flex receiver, so I just hope he has a really good game. But the New Orleans Saints are at home. They got Drew Brees. They got Alvin Kamara. They got a pretty good squad, and I got Kamara on one of my leagues too, so I hope he goes off as well. But Drew Brees, he's going to be going for that 5,000 yards again. I think he's in range to have the all-time record for passing yards. And I know he's probably going to throw for another 5,000 yards again this year because they're a very pass-happy team, that he's going to set that record or extend the record of most 5,000 yards passes by a quarterback. So I got to go with the New Orleans Saints on this one. So the game we have after that, we got the Houston Texans visiting my AFC champion New England Patriots, 5-time Super Bowl champions. Yeah, I feel myself a little bit right there, but it's cool, it's cool. We got Brady, we got Gronk. Edelman's on steroids, so he'll be gone for the first 4 games. But we got Hogan, we got White, we got a pretty solid squad. I wish our receivers were a little better. And Houston's got that defense, and I believe J.J. Watt is back. And the last time they played us, Deshaun Jackson went off. Not Deshaun Jackson. What was his name? The quarterback for the Texans. I don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about. He went off on us. Texans play us tough, but you know, Patriots are at home, and you really can't go wrong of picking the Patriots. I could pick the Patriots all 16 times this year, like I probably will, and I'll still be right probably 12 or 13 times. The quarterback's name is Deshaun Watson. Sorry. And then the next game is... And then we got the Santa Clarita 49ers. I'm just kidding, San Francisco 49ers, but they're playing in Santa Clarita. Whatever. With Jimmy G visiting the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings have a really good defense. This is going to be a really good test for Jimmy G and that newfound 49ers offense that they're putting together. Unfortunately, their big running back that they signed tore his ACL, so he's out for the year. So that's one less weapon for Jimmy G. Jimmy G did finish off the season with 5 straight wins. He's basically undefeated as a starter. But this might be a little bit too much for Jimmy G, even though I'm a big fan of his. Even though the Patriots traded him away, we should have kept him to be Brady's successor. But I don't blame him for wanting to get out there. He felt like he was better than Brady, so I don't blame him. Do your thing, Jimmy G. I don't think you're going to do it this week, though. I got the Minnesota Vikings. So another game we got. So we got the Tennessee Titans visiting the Miami Dolphins. Now, I don't know too much about either of these teams. I know the Dolphins are trying to revamp their team a little bit in the offseason. I heard a couple things that they were changing a few things to make their team a little better. The Dolphins are at home. The Titans did make the playoffs last year. They did really well. They have their, I believe it was their rookie receiver last year, Corey Davis. He's back. He's healthy. He had a really good playoff game against the Patriots. And it seems like he's a really good target for Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota really likes throwing it to him. So he might be a guy you might want to pick up on fantasy football if you still need a receiver. I'm pretty sure he's probably in a lot of free agencies. A lot of people don't think of him because he's on the Titans, and then they got Marcus Mariota, which is people really don't look at those guys. But definitely take a look at Corey Davis. Dolphins are at home. Titans are doing well. It's kind of like a flip a coin thing here. I think the Titans are going to do a little upset, and they're going to win on the road. So another game we got the Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the New York Football Giants. Now, the Giants, they got OBJ back. Eli's going to be back. They got that Saquon Barkley kid that everyone's freaking out about. Like, this Saquon Barkley kid is amazing. He's going to do great. The thing is, Saquon Barkley is a pretty big guy. He's a pretty big target. And unless they run a lot of plays to get him outside so he gets that one-on-one coverage to try and throw people loose and stuff like that, I don't think he's going to do as good as people really are saying he's going to do. Also, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they get no respect. But they're a lot better than a lot of people realize. So I got to pick the Jaguars for this one. So the next game we got the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the revamped Cleveland Browns. Now, I've heard a lot of things about the Cleveland Browns this offseason. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of picking the Cleveland Browns to be one of my teams that are going to sneak into the playoffs. Don't be shocked if they make the playoffs. They did a lot of things this year. But they're starting off against a juggernaut like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, the Steelers, they got Antonio Brown, who is arguably the best wide receiver in the league. They got Le'Veon Bell, who is arguably the best running back in the league, who is sitting out. Don't mind me real quick. I'm just doing something that everybody else should be doing. You know, like sign James Conner to your fantasy football team because he's going to get all of Bell's carries. And he's basically like a younger Bell, maybe not as good, but he plays a lot like him. He can catch the ball and he runs well, so get James Conner. But yes, for my prediction, I gotta go with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. I mean, I really like the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna be secretly watching for them and rooting for them this year. I would like the Browns to win. Excuse me. Why is it every time I say I would like a team to win, I kind of have like that throw up burp thing come up? It's like I'm not allowed to say that. I don't want the Patriots to win. If I say anybody else, I want them to win. That happens. Whatever. I would really like them to win, but I gotta go with the Steelers. And then we got a game going on. We got the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the the Los Angeles Chargers. Now the Chargers, they did a lot of stuff this offseason. Like, I haven't been following too much, but I listen to ESPN radio and I listen to Fox Sports Radio, and since I'm out here in SoCal, they talk about the Chargers and the Rams a lot. So I heard a lot about those teams, and I get notifications about the Patriots because I follow them. But the Chargers have done a lot to revamp their team. They're really going for it this year. And then, whatchamacallit? Why am I blanking? The Chiefs. Yes, the Chiefs. They still got that explosive offense. They don't have Alex Smith anymore, the quarterback that he micromanages. He manages the game. He don't do too much. He don't do too little. He does exactly what you need to win. And their defense is solid. But they got that Patrick Mahomes, I think his name is. He's got a cannon, and he looks like he's in love with Tyreek Hill. He's going to be throwing so many passes to that guy. They still got Kareem Hunt coming out of the backfield. They're still super explosive. Really, I don't know who to pick on this one. I just want to watch it. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because I haven't seen the Chargers play with their new unit yet. I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers win. This really is an either or, but I'm just going to go with the Chiefs. And then we have America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, facing the Carolina Panthers. Now, Panthers are at home. Cowboys have a lot to prove. They got the whole team together. They got Zeke. I mean, they lost Jason Witten, so I'm not exactly sure who their tight end is. But I know Dak Prescott likes throwing to their tight end. Like, he throws to his tight ends a lot as a bailout. So I look into maybe getting the Cowboys tight end for fantasy football if you don't have a tight end or you need one. But this should be a good game. Cowboys and Panthers. Panthers look pretty solid. Their offense looks like it's clicking together. Cowboys, I haven't followed them too much. All I know is I got a lot of Cowboys friends and we're going to the Super Bowl like they do every year. But this one is another flip the coin toss up. I'm just going to go with Dallas because they're at home. But actually, no, they're not at home. The Panthers are at home. So then I should go with the Panthers because they're at home. Actually, I don't trust the quarterback for the Panthers, Cam Newton. I don't trust him. I'm still going with the Cowboys. And then we have the racist Washington Redskins versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is a game I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to because I have David Johnson. I want to see how David Johnson does because he was my #1 draft pick on the second league that I'm in, and I'm going to depend on him a lot. Now, what I heard about David Johnson is he went vegan, but he got hurt, and then he was like, forget that vegan stuff, I'm going to start eating meat again. So he's back into the shape he was when he was running for 2,000 yards. He lost a little bit of weight, but he's just as strong, if not even stronger is what they're saying. He's just as fast, he's a little more nimble is what they're saying. They're speaking up very highly of him, and they're looking to be using him as a focal point for their offense like they have in the past. So really looking forward to seeing him play, and I just got to go for the Arizona Cardinals on this one just because David Johnson's going to go off on that Redskins team, and they're at home. And then we have the Seattle Seahawks visiting the Denver Broncos. Now, apparently the Seahawks defense isn't the Seahawks defense anymore, and the Denver Broncos still have that defense, but they have absolutely no offense now from my understanding. So again, this is kind of a toss-up. I'm leaning towards the Seahawks because they still have a decent defense, but they have an above-average offense, while the Cowboys may have a good defense, they have no offense, as I know of for now. So I'm not going to be putting too much trust into the Broncos yet until I've seen them play a couple times. I know the Broncos are at home, and it's usually a bad idea to pick against them at home because whether they have a quarterback or not, they tend to win at home. But I'm going to have to go with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks for this one. And then we have probably one of the, if not the biggest rivalry in football. We got the Bears and the Cheeseheads. What am I talking about? The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Bears just traded for Khalil Mack, so everyone's saying that defense is going to be on point now. But I think as far as I know, they only have Khalil Mack on defense. I really don't know about the rest of them. And then I know they're pretty excited about their quarterback, that he did pretty well last year. They're being very positive, and they're looking forward, saying this is going to be our guy. But they're playing the Packers, who are at home, who have arguably the best quarterback in the league, Aaron Rodgers. Some may argue that this man's better. But, I mean, if you say Aaron Rodgers is better than Brady, I'm not even mad at you. I mean, he's younger, he's still got the legs, he can move around, and he's healthy now. So, you couldn't go wrong with either of them. Aaron Rodgers probably is the better quarterback of the two. I'm just a homer, so I'm always going to say Brady. But they got Rodgers. He's back. Rodgers has a new toy at tight end that I know he's going to be picking at with Jimmy Graham. He's going to be tossing it to him a lot. And their offense is looking pretty good, even though I know he was complaining about them in training camps and these guys aren't trying too hard. I kind of feel like under those bright lights at home on a Sunday afternoon or night, I'm not exactly sure what time they play, that the Packers are really going to show up, so I got to pick the Packers for this one. And then we have the New York Jets visiting the Detroit Lions. Now, the Jets, they've been trying to put a team together. I know they've been getting a little better. They've actually been helping close the AFC East a little bit. So, like I said, it's not as much of a runaway for the Patriots as it used to be. Patriots are still a favorite to come out on top of that. It's not like it's a really tough division. It's not like it's the AFC West. But they've been doing better. The Lions, I haven't heard too much about it. I know they got a new running back that they're looking really high to. Since Amir Abdullah isn't really popping out the way that they thought he was going to be, they're kind of saying, yeah, this guy's supposed to be like Barry Sanders, even though no one's going to ever be like Barry again. But they're looking at that, and Detroit's at home. The Jets are visiting. This one's really tough for me to pick, but I'm going to go with the New York Jets on this one, just because I'm not too sure about the Lions' offense right now. And then to wrap it up on Monday night, we got a rematch of the preseason where fans were fighting in the crowd with the Los Angeles Rams and the Oakland Raiders. So this will be the last year that the Raiders play in Oakland, I believe. I believe starting next year they'll be playing in Las Vegas, which is going to be even nuts. I mean, that's going to be crazy. I mean, you think they're crazy in Oakland, it's going to be nuts in Vegas. But yeah, Raiders are at home. Raiders, they have a car. He's back. They got Cooper. Everybody's huge on beast mode. I'm not the biggest fan of Marshawn Lynch. I think he's overrated, but I mean, he's a good player, but I don't think he's as good as people try to say he is. But the Rams, that team, that is a squad right there. And they look like favorites to come out of the NFC. Like, they look like they can challenge anybody and put up a fight. Gurley came back to being Gurley that he was his rookie year. He had that sophomore slump, and then he came back with a vengeance last year. So I don't expect him to fall back any bit. He's probably going to stay pretty much the same, be somewhere on par, maybe a little worse than what he did last year, because he did a lot from last year. But they have a revamped receiving corps. They got Cooks from the Patriots. And as far as I know of, that Rams team looks really good. So even though they're visiting the Raiders at home, I got to pick the Rams for that one. So there you have it. Those are my picks. Go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think I got right. Let me know what you think I got wrong and why. And go ahead and put any questions of anything else that you might want to hear my opinion about. By no means am I an expert when it comes to football at all. I don't know too much. I'm basically just I'm a fan that pays enough attention to my team and a little bit of attention to the rest of the teams. But I do hear about some sleeper guys left and right over here. I do have some hardcore football fans that are hitting me up saying, hey bro, get this guy for your fantasy football team. I'm like, all right, and it turns out to be a gem for me. But yeah, again, go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think. And also, so you saw what was on the screen right there, right? And you want to be a happy person, right? And then you have an opportunity to be generous right now and be a happy person by hitting that subscribe button and hitting that little bell to get that notification of when I post my next video. And again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Laters.